Morning students, I hope you all have seen part 1 of chapter 1, writing about writing. Now in part 2 we are going to discuss about summary and the source, how to write it. Now let us start it. In the last activity you were pretending to be a character in the story, so you invented a story of your own. Your paragraph was about your experience of painting. It was not about strong desire, wise action by Mark Twain. See what is said over here, that in the last activity, see the last activity, that was that you imagine you are a boy and you enjoy painting very much. So go home and tell your sister about your painting the fence. See, that was the story, and in that you were pretending to be a character in that story, and so you invented a story of your own. You made the story of your own and you made a paragraph which was about the experience of painting. And it was not from the Tom this strong desire wise action by Mark Twain. And now we'll see is a source. See, a source is writing that you are writing about. See, what is a source? See, a source is a writing that you are writing about, what you are writing. When we write about the story, poem, newspaper article, or any other kind of writing, we call the writing that we are writing about a source. And in this book, we will learn the proper way to write about other people's writing. In other words, we will learn to write about sources. See, the source is the writing that you are writing about something. For example, when we write about a story, that particular story will be your source. And again, when we write about the poem, then that poem may be your source. So we can write only what is in the story or what is in the poem. And in a way, write about source means write about other people's writing. Or writing about source means writing about author's idea and opinion. So that is called source. See here they have asked, if your teacher or an exam asks you to write about strong desire, wise action by Mark Twain, Mark Twain's story would be your source. Say in this, when your teacher asks you to write about the story, that the story desire, strong desire of wise action about that story, which is by Mark Twain, then Mark Twain's story would be your source. See, that story will be your source, and your writing would be about Mark Twain's story. So that was about source, and now we will see that is about summary. See, what is summary? A summary is a short piece of writing. You see, what is summary? It is a short piece of writing that tells the main idea of the author or the source, and ideas of the author or any source. One kind of summary is a neutral summary. See, there is a kind of summary, and in that one kind is that is known as neutral summary. Neutral summary tells the idea of the sources author without including any of the ideas or feelings of the person writing the summary. See what is said over neutral summary. Now it is one way, common way of writing about sentences. When we write about the common way about the sentences, and it tells us about the ideas of sources authors without including any of the idea or any of the feeling of the person they are writing the summary. And when you write a good neutral summary, you are describing someone else. See, when you write a neutral summary, you describe someone else's idea. So you need to read carefully and understand the ideas of the author. See, for that you should know all the ideas, or we should know properly, and we should read also carefully to understand the ideas of the author before you start writing the summary. When you write about a source, ask yourself, would the author agree with me? See, when you are writing about the source, so what you will think in your mind, will that author, he will agree with me To avoid the confusion, call the writer of the source an author. So when to avoid this confusion, you can say the writer of the source as an author, while the student the writer, and the student who is writing is a writer. See, a summary na is a record in the reader's own word, and that gives the main point of a piece of writing. And which it is been written in a newspaper article or the chapter of a book or even the whole book. And it is also possible to summarize something that you have heard, such as a lecture, or something that you have seen and heard, such as a movie. A summary omits detail and does not include the reader interpretation of the original. Now, for example, if you write a neutral summary about O. Henry's story after 20 years, you should include. See what we have read this story about after 20 years, which is written by O. Henry. So, they have said when you write the story, you should include O. Henry's main idea. You have to include, not yours. Our idea we should not include. We have to include O. Henry's main idea. And one way to check your writing is to think, if O. Henry read my summary. See what to think before that. When you're writing, you have to check it, and you think that if O. Henry, he will read my summary, would he agree with the way I expressed his main idea? See, he should be agreed. Why? Because you have taken his ideas and you have made a summary. So you should be very careful while careful by writing. So read carefully before when you write about anyone. Neutral summary is one of the common way of writing about the source. A neutral summary is what is one of the common way of writing about sources. And when you write a good neutral summary, when you're writing a good neutral summary, you are describing someone else's idea. See, in this what you describe someone else's idea. So you need to read carefully. So I said before also, before writing this source and summary, you need to be very careful and understand the idea of the author before you write. See, before you write, you should know about his ideas, and how will you write, and how will you describe his idea in your words. When you write about the source, ask yourself, would the author agree with me? See, when you write any source, so you should ask a question to yourself, that would the author agree with me? Will he agree with me? What am I writing with that? Now here they have given here that you are going to use one of the character to write a poem that is called cinquain. See what is cinquain? Is a kind of a poem that has 5 lines and a certain pattern they follow. See, is a kind of a poem that has 5 lines and certain patterns, and the poem is solely about the character, not about the story as a source. See, in this, what is the story is line 1, that is title. One word should be there, any noun. Then second, description. In line 2, what you will do, the description will be there, and that is up to 2 word only it should be. And in the third line, action, whatever action is being performed, that is 3 words it should be. And the fourth line, the feeling phrase, you have to write in a phrase that are feelings. In a 4 words you have to describe it. And on the fifth line, title, synonyms or antonym of the title, you have to write the title in 1 word. Here is an example of cinquain about our author Mark Twain. See, they have showed one example over here. See, first line, the title Mark. Second, description, talented writer. Action, that should be in 3 word. Penned Tom Sawyer. And the fourth line, that is a feeling, that should be in the 4 words. Enjoyed humor and mischief. And at the last, in the 5th line, the title, 1 word, Twain. See, here they have showed you how to write cinquain and what is cinquain. Now moving ahead, we'll see is the activity 9, that is about the, since a summary is about a source. See, summary is about a source only, and the summary needs to tell which source you are writing about. and summary tells us which source you are writing about. See, summary is about a source only and it tells us what you're writing about. And we call referencing the source. See, in this we call this as a referencing the source. You can identify the source with the title, author's name, date of publication, place of publication, etc. See, you can also identify the source with what? By the title, author's name, date of publication, and the place of publication. You don't need to put all the information, you only need to put enough information for your reader to find the source when you're writing. Here they have given referencing identity identifies the source, that is, let us read that. You don't need to put all the information, you only need to put enough information for your readers to find the source. See what they have said in this, that you need to put all the information, you have to write all the information, but you need not you only need to put enough information, only such type of enough information should be there for your reader to find the source. From this way they can find the source. And they have given the example also. Let us see in example 1 what they have written. The play Romeo and Juliet, written by William Shakespeare and first performed around 1595, tells the story of so and so. See, in this they have mentioned properly. See, first they have put the information, and it's not only need to put enough information, that is the that this is that Romeo Juliet, and it is written by whom? Say William Shakespeare, and it was being performed around in which year? 1595, and then tells the story of that. For example 2 in we see example 2, the 2013 Hindu Times article. See, in the year they have written and the Hindu Time article after that. New bill puts people fight. See what is the title over there? They have given new bill. New bill puts people's fight. Essentially said the Indian would treat the problem of. Then we will continue. And the third example, the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost tells us, see in this poem, The Road Not Taken, that is written by Robert Frost, and what it tells, then we will continue with it. So they have showed us all these things. See in this, when we do the who is your source, if they are asking you who is your source, so for Henry, O. Henry and Mark Twain, the character will be the Jimmy Wales and Tom Sawyer. I hope you all have understood this properly. You came to know about how to write summary also and what is a source. Thank you.